Bitcoin pumping. We are again above $110,000. We're gonna have a look into Bitcoin, guys, and what kind of resistance levels that we need to break as soon as possible in order to resume the bull run, guys. So a new week has started. We're gonna have a look into the weekly chart, of course, as well. So welcome everyone on board. Make sure to be subscribed on this channel. I keep you updated every day, guys, whatever is going on here in the crypto space. Also, when it comes to new hyped upcoming cryptos, such as, for example, Snorter token that is launching today in 4 hours. At least the early access phase will be over. Or Bitcoin Hyper, the current most hyped upcoming crypto that everyone is jumping on board here. Even Ethereum whales are currently buying into this new crypto. So we are waiting for the launch there, of course. So if you want to check them out, links in the video description, of course. And also, if you want to sign up to any exchanges like Bybit, Mexi Global, Casey Exchange, and so on, use my links to get the maximum sign up bonus. And most of the exchanges also completely 0% trading fees if you use my links. So take advantage of that, guys. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to show you all my own opinions, price analysis, expectations, and so on. So always do your own research, guys, since I'm not a financial advisor, and everything in this video is no financial advice, especially if you're taking now some trades, guys, because currently I'm longing the Bitcoin price. Yes, I'm currently opening up some longs because, of course, in the immediate short term here in the 4-hour time frame, we got some very nice buy signals down here in all indicators after we bottomed out here at 105k. And right now, of course, we are seeing this move to the upside. The big question is now only, will we see continuation to the upside, or will we get somewhere rejected and then start or confirm basically the bear market? So we're gonna have a look into that, guys, because we are, of course, not completely out of the woods here. And you know that Bitcoin for me is the best asset in the world, of course. And whenever we're trading here, this is just whenever you want to do some scalp trading or short-term trades, but the long-term hodl positions, of course, shouldn't be changed. Of course, no financial advice, guys, is just what I'm doing personally. And even if we would enter into a bear market in the next coming months, I still expect, of course, long-term Bitcoin to go higher and higher, since Bitcoin is here to stay and will not disappear in the next coming hours. And that's why, of course, whenever you're taking here trades, those are, of course, just maybe to multiply your Bitcoin, or to multiply some stable coins or coin flips like altcoins and stuff like that. Also, if you're buying into new low market cap coins like this one, Bitcoin Hyper, that is extremely hyped right now, I just do that. I just buy them just in order to try to get more Bitcoin and put it, of course, into my long-term holding position. And of course, I'm doing also leverage trading here, but this is really just to try to accumulate a bit more Bitcoin and not like to do anything else. I mean, I'm just trying to accumulate more Bitcoin long-term, and of course, short-term, I'm also buying and selling altcoins as well. I mean, I still have all my altcoins, Ethereum, Tron, Solana, everything is still pumping, everything is still looking great. I think we have the chance right now to resume the bull run, but it needs to happen as soon as possible, guys. Otherwise, the targets to the downside, or the targets of the next potential bear market at the moment, are really lower than the current price, and that's why we maybe also gonna have a quick look into that. But here, the move to the upside is happening right now. The good thing is that we have now some 4-hour closes, at least 2 of them within this previous consolidation phase, which now, of course, could turn into new resistance. That is, of course, possible, but based on the indicators, even though we still can get a little rejection here, it looks like that we have the chance now to push straight away towards our next major resistance levels that we're gonna cover now. Because here you can see also in the 4-hour time frame, we are still way below the 200 moving average and the 100 moving average, which is still above it. So this one didn't even come below the 200 daily, the 200 moving average in the 4-hour time frame. And if we do here a Fibonacci retracement level from the current top, which is also the all-time high, to the current low, you can see that exactly at this Fibonacci retracement level, perfectly matching also the top side of the candle channels at around $111,700, we are getting some resistance. Once we break that, the next level would be up here at around 114k, which is also matching more or less with the 200 moving average in the 4-hour time frame. And if we break that one, the next major resistance is all the way up here at the bearish retracement level at $117,000. This, in my opinion, will be the ultimate resistance that needs to get broken in order to at least call out that we could see here a continuation of our bull run. If we really push above $117,000 in the immediate short term, so we need to break this resistance as soon as possible. And then, of course, If we break also that one, this previous support, which now is of course new resistance at $121,000, you can see that here we had a lot of support before we had this huge meltdown here. So this is of course also very, very strong resistance that we have now at around 122K. So you see that even Bitcoin, even if we see now a big bounce, we have a lot of resistances in front of us. And usually during a bull run, or whenever Bitcoin is in a parabolic bull run and bull mode, we see those resistances immediately, that Bitcoin is able to break through immediately, like a hot knife through butter. But if we are getting some problems somewhere to push higher at any of those resistances, and we see like a bearish consolidation phase or anything like that, and the indicators also turn bearish, then of course it's very likely that at some point we're getting rejected. But I'm pretty confident that we have now the chance to start or continue the bull run again because of the daily time frame. We are extremely oversold here. We are getting buy signals everywhere, not only here on the spot chart, but also here on the CME chart. As you can see, we are coming in oversold condition, and that means that the big bounce is most likely incoming. And also here, you can see that we touched perfectly the 200 daily moving average here. So in theory, we're still perfectly in a bull run and in an uptrend. Nothing bad has happened in theory, just a bigger correction like we have seen many times during this bull run. And yes, guys, we have a very little tiny CME gap now since we opened up slightly higher, but it's almost close. I mean, it's $107,000, but you can see that with this week that we had here, when the CME started, we almost came down to close it. So I think it's like a closed gap. I don't consider that an open gap, but of course, if we would see something like that, then of course we would completely close that CME gap here. But at the moment, I would say it's open, but also not opened at the same time. And if we go over now into the weekly time frame, and therefore I want to open up, because here we are still in a downtrend based on the indicators. I mean, price action is bullish, but of course also here we are touching the 50 weekly moving average. Very important that we bounce off from it, like we have done right now. The indicators are still shifted to the downside. That is a bit concerning. Also, if we have a look into the MACD, everything is still shifted to the downside. Also the RSI coming down. So in theory, we are still in a cool off period basically. And here on the spot chart, I want to show you again that it's very, of course, important that we are holding above the 50 weekly moving average, currently at $102,000. So we need the weekly closes above it, and we managed last week to recover basically, or to stay above the 50 weekly moving average. And if we go over into the lines chart, you can see these purple lines here. The resistance of the weekly time frame currently at around $130,000, and the support down here. So if you connect here the weekly closes together, you can see that last week we perfectly closed right at the support. So in theory, also here we didn't have a breakdown. So in theory, we still also have here the chance to bounce from it and go towards the resistance again. And here, of course, also we have to wait in which direction we're going to break out next, because if to the upside, bull run on. If to the downside, in my opinion, the beginning of a bear market, because in theory, what we are building up here, this pattern here, with this support and resistance, is in theory a bearish pattern, a rising wedge. And if that one breaks to the downside, in theory, the breakout target is all the way down here where we started this pattern. And guess what? This one is at around $55,000, guys. That would be like a 50% minus here in the crypto space if that would happen. And you know that Halloween is upcoming, guys, so scary things ahead. But of course, let's try to avoid that. I hope that it's not going to be the case, but also based on the weekly time frame, you can see that the 200 weekly moving average, where usually we bottom out during a bear market, we have the 200 weekly moving average currently down here, exactly at $55,000, the breakout target. So that's why very important that Bitcoin right now resumes the bull run and the uptrend. Otherwise here things are really starting to look ugly. And also here the US dollar dominance, at the moment we are still in an uptrend. So at the moment we still could have eventually the chance to break out here to the upside from this bullish pattern. Remember that here we are inverse correlated, and in the daily time frame we are getting a rejection right at the resistance. Right now we're cooling off. Also we have bearish divergence here, everything good for the Bitcoin price. We have sell signals, so everything is starting to cool off. But also here, if we're starting an uptrend, so if all those moving averages here are going to go above the 200 daily moving average and start an uptrend here, then of course a big breakout to the upside could be incoming, and that would mean basically confirmation of a bear market for the crypto space if that happens, because everyone would be going then into stable coins like into USDT. and therefore, of course, you would see here a big breakout, a big spike to the upside that could, of course, lead into a bear market. That's why very, very important right now that Bitcoin resumes the uptrend and the bull run as soon as possible. And then, of course, we can expect prices at 150k, 180k, 200k, everything possible. You have seen that also gold is, of course, in a rampage right now. If we go have a look into the gold chart also here, of course, the indicators are looking a bit toppy. Everything is in extreme condition here. Everything is basically topping out. So if here we are getting, for example, daily closes again below $4,200, it's very likely that we're coming down to retest here the previous resistance at $3,900. And if we would fall below, then of course we would go down to the next support at $3,400. I don't expect that gold will ever trade again like below 2K. But it is still possible that we're gonna drop below 4K at some point. Also here on the weekly time frame, we are in extreme oversold condition. This rally can continue, but of course also here everything is completely maxed out. The stochastic RSI is at 100%, so we never have been so overbought like now, or maybe a couple of times in the past. But also if here we are correcting down to, for example, $3,700, we would remain still in an uptrend. But you can see this big spike that gold had in just a few weeks. Just in like 1 or 2 months, we rallied like from $3,300 all the way up to $4,400. So 35% move in just a few weeks. And that, of course, could happen anytime also for Bitcoin. So let's see where this rally will take us. If we're gonna break through important resistance levels that we have covered in this video, then bull run is on. If we get rejected somewhere, I'm afraid that we are in huge danger to start a bear market in the next coming months and probably go into 2026. But meanwhile, the hope is still here. And of course, we can keep accumulate more cryptos that we want, because a big bounce, in my opinion, is starting right now. Alright guys, that's it for now. I'm gonna keep you updated, of course, at the launch here of Snorter token, Bitcoin Hyper, and so on. So check them out, those new projects, guys. I did some update videos, so check them out. They're popping up at the end of this video. And of course, be subscribed on this channel. At 3,000 subscribers, we are going to do the next $100 giveaway worth of an altcoin. So the last winner was the blockchain. So congratulations to you, my friend. And I hope you're gonna enjoy those SUI tokens that we have distributed. And of course, make always sure to be active here, because the more active you are, the more likely it is I'm gonna select you as the lucky winner of the next $100 giveaway. So thank you for watching, guys. Stay tuned, be subscribed, and we're gonna see us all in the next one. Bye for now.